Howdy, howdy, y'all. Bonsoir, and welcome to the stream. My name is Peter Counterfeit Hartnell, here to bring you all of today's action. We're going to be kicking things off today with a community game before we get into the finals proper. So I hope that you'll come and join live on a stream for all kinds of good times. ESL123, welcome back. Thank you, Hero Gaming Simon, our wonderful moderator in the YouTube chat. Sheila Grananos, thank you for showing the love towards ourselves here today. So let's jump through all these hoops and get on to the battlefield. Said ESL 1, 2, 3. Guys, we are just about to get into high stakes ESL competition, the normally weekly iOS competitions worth 100 euros or dollars. The monthly competitions, which you have to earn your way into, worth 5 times as much. It's craziness. But that's what we've got for you here today. The very best 8 teams on iOS Blue here to battle for your amusement. So I hope you'll come and join us and show off your own skills as we get ready for some intense ESL action. We'll be having our bracket up before too much longer, I suspect. So look forward to seeing who's matched up against who. They say. Welcome, my friends, to the game. We'll be joining in with this one ourselves. So, ever since Bolchi taught us how to play the game, we have been trying out this new control scheme and having some good success. Little Far over on Facebook, welcome to the stream. Bonsoir, Reich YouTube, thank you for encouraging my experimentation with the French language. So while we wait for our players to show up, as I think we've got a few to start with, we'll grab just a few more before we get into that first game. Let me take you guys on a little journey through the teams we've got here today, and we have got quite a list of teams. We've got Impossible Missions Force from Korea, Engrave on Memory from Japan, VMV Returns from the USA, Into the Wild also from Japan, Score Gaming from Mexico, LVG Algara from Japan, Seido Meizo, the only French representatives, and Old Glory also representing Japan. We have got one hell of a tournament for you guys here today. IMF, Impossible Missions Force, Old Glory, long-time rivals, Into the Wild, a team that are very much set to take everyone by surprise. Into the Wild with a monthly tournament finals win in recent memory. That's a lot of money in their pockets, and I'm sure they're jonesing to have themselves just a little bit more of that good old greenbacks. VMV Returns are number 3 seed today from the USA. They've got a lot to prove coming into today's competition, but we won't worry about that too much for now. And gosh, I never realized there were so many French-speaking fans in the chat. If I had, I would have been started trying to speak French a hell of a lot sooner, but je suis désolé that I did not do it up until this point. Alright, we're out for our first community game of the day. We'll be getting in as many of these as we can as things go forward. So notice we've got ourselves, well, we got blown up by a grenade. We've got ourselves our aim button and our shoot button up in the far corners. We have to kind of get reused to this again, but it does work pretty darn well. Case in point. Oof. Big yes. Right, YouTube, or anyone else who speaks French, we're on a Francais kick, so let us know if there's any good phrases you think we could use on stream that people would like to hear, and we'll do our best to try and include them. Alright. Man, we're getting killed by someone with a tier 1 weapon. Gosh. Much respect to them. Ruben. Olga Montero, you like what happens in here? Well, we'd love to have you along for the ride. Come and join us, ESL 123. We'll get in as many games as we can before everything's done and dusted here today. There we go, see? I mean, we went 1v2, but we did alright at the end of the day. We still haven't quite got the hang of the quite how to throw grenades. Yes, right. Of course I remember the 7 deadly sins. Whatever happened to those guys? Oh boy. It's so much more like using a mouse and keyboard this particular way. I believe our admin for today should be Uno. Uno! Oui, oui! Hola, amigos! Uriel Gonzalez. I can see it talking about the zombos. I mean, we're not great by any means, but I feel like we're doing better. We're doing better than we would have done before, certainly. There's a lot of shots we are getting now which we just would never have gotten before. Ruben! Normalement, je suis inscrit mais spoof. I have no idea what that is, but I can kind of read it. Well, I can kind of read it out, but I don't actually know what was being said. Huh. That's a new one. Whoop. Up and over. Well, we didn't actually hit them that time. But yes, good evening, bonsoir, to our good friends across the globe. We are trying to show some appreciation towards our French fans recently, because we just realized there are tons of you guys who were speaking the language, who parlent français, in the chat. And Reich has been the most forward of all of you guys, so do thank Reich for helping set off this parlez français, s'il vous plaît. So Reich, I always thought the phrase "Donnez-moi l'argent, s'il vous plaît." Is that "give me the money"? Or should it be said a different way? I don't know if it's like one of those phrases that doesn't quite translate through the same way. XGD2 YouTube, you're the clown. Yeah, who would let the clown in here? Where did we cross paths with you before? XGD2. Did we play against you before? Oh man, oh man. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We're hitting some pretty good shots, let me tell you. Ah. We need to be moving side to side there. Donnez-moi l'argent. XGD2, hey, I got a joke. Nah, the Hungry Wolf Sky owner things. Is that on your business card, XGD2? Because if it is... Wow. Some say it's tough being this good. And I tell them, no, it's very tough being this good. I think our team's still going to lose, but we had a good time doing it, and that's the important thing. Hooah, hooah, look at me turning around like a panther. Urgh. Oh gosh. We've run out of time. Alright, I believe we're going to have our first match of the day. The bracket is now officially live, thanks to Danny W. Thank you very much. Let's see. Our opening match of the day is going to be IMF versus Old Glory. Now that is going to be quite the way to start off a competition. Oh boy. So XGD2, did you know they sell lives around the corner? You should get one. Oh right, that's the joke. I'm sorry, I didn't quite clock that's what the joke was. Very funny, XGD2. Wait, were you the guy who was doing the jokes, doing all those jokes before? Because I do remember somebody doing that, though I didn't remember exactly what the name was. Are you under a different name now? The Toxie, we should use the DBS? Alright, we'll give that a try next time. Wah. Let's see, my concern... I think Google Translate is not quite capable of doing all of these translations. Because sometimes the terminology is a little, you know, it doesn't quite go for the Google Translate quite right. Nightbot is terminating Mickelson MC5. Well, that's just rude. So as we said, our first match of ESL competition coming up. IMF versus Old Glory. It's going to be one hell of a fight. These are two incredible MC5 teams going face to face. And they will provide us with only the very top quality MC5 action. Guys, I'm very excited to see these two teams play. Doesn't happen very often, but when it does, you know the earth is gonna shake. Ah! Let me see if I can translate it. Into French. Let's see.
Ça va être un bon vieux jour.
Ça va être un bon vieux jour. Vieux?
Ça va être un bon vieux jour.
Vieux jour. It's gonna be a good day. XGD2, you're already unmuted. I don't think you are. Oh, you're timed out on your other account. I can't actually untime out someone. If you are longer term timed out on the channel, it means you said something that was so bad that I had to block your account on there. So I won't be able to bring you back in under your regular account. I don't have access to that kind of material. But I would just be careful not to go too far with your jokes this time. But yes, XGD2, I did enjoy your joke. It was straightforward, but effective. Alright, can we get a few more folks in here? I know you want to show off what you're all capable of before we get these high caliber ESL teams going at one another. We should use Cog or Bosk. Right, we should use the PR39 Lava. Oh, I see, they're all from you. Who's suggesting these different weapons we should employ? What do you guys think? What is the superior armament for the construction site on a free-for-all? Have we actually got a PR39? I don't know if we do. We're definitely going to need some more people for this one, though. So I'll keep the invite. Oh, okay, XGD2. Apparently you're not timed out anymore. I don't know. What a world. What a world. Let's see. Come and join us.
Venez nous rejoindre.
Venez nous rejoindre. What joindre? Man, Google Translate does not get along with some of these French words. Yes, XGD2. I do remember somebody telling jokes before, and I'm assuming it was you. So, welcome. So, interesting fact about the upcoming game between Into the Wild and Old Glory is that Old Glory, under their current team lineup, they haven't been beaten for absolutely ages. Alright, well, I think we're just going to get this game started, don't we? But because they haven't played for a long time, it means their seeding has slipped down, so they're going to have a very tough journey through today's competition because of that low seeding. Alright. Go, go, go! Right here onto the construction site ESL 123 on iOS. Ah! Maxi boy. Ooh. XGD2, you were in the iOS Red community stream, aha! Can you remember any of these hilarious jokes you told there? I think we'll keep towards the center, then at least we'll probably get people coming to us. This map is... Oh, there we go. We've got a few more people coming in. Oui, oui, aussi, je t'aime, flamme la plus chère. I have no idea what's been said, but it sounds fun. So we gotta get up in that sniper's nest and clear that out, because otherwise we ain't gonna get anywhere. Did they see us coming? That was the question. Yes, but... Oh. I wasn't expecting someone behind there. Hey, lucky guy, welcome to the stream. Our French friends are out in force today, even though it's pretty late in France. So, thank you guys for coming out. It turns out we got tons of French people watching, but they just never really been saying anything, because I think they didn't realise that was a possibility. But alright. Just do what I do, lucky guy, and make gratuitous use of... Oh. Ah! That's right, sit down! Just make gratuitous use of the Google Translate. You should be okay. Oh man, oh man. Natox, you're not living in France. Ah, but are you still speaking French? Man, it's so much easier to headshot right now. Oh man! Yes, so that's something important to remember, is that's one of the reasons why we're using the COG-V right now, is because of the extra aiming damage. Ugh. Lucky guy, this sniper's going to win. I think you're quite likely right. Because they are very deadly at close and long quarters. Wait, do we just... Are we just... King Ob, you monster. Natox, you live next to Australia in a French island. Oh, Natox, what's the name of that island? I've never heard of such a place. Is that a former colony then? Here it's English and French as a global language. Oh man, that sounds like a cool place to live. Ah, you know a little bit of French, XG. Well then, this is a great time to deploy that knowledge. Hey, 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 hey. Illol. I can't believe Illol's still up there. Oh man. Abusive. Abusive. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That time I saw them. Ah. XG, a romantic joke about MC5. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, good. Alright. Mohammed Tariq, you play like my son. He's talking too much, but he can't win. Mohammed, I will always remember someone said that to me. That's wonderful. Getting a little bit... Yeah, it took us a long time to get that scope up. If I were the game, will you be the player? I think that's... XG, I think you're in the beginnings of something good there. Ah! Jeez, I didn't see Maximo. I was too busy looking at the chat. Ah, Illol shot us with a pistol. I never even saw them coming. Lucky guy, we're playing on iOS, yes, with other iOS players. It's all about iOS right now. Huh. Must have been the wind. Snipers, welcome to the stream. Don't worry, if you're not an MC5 fan right now, we'll get you there, we'll get you there. So, I came in fourth, but not by a lot. Not by a lot. Alright guys, we'll keep the good times a-rolling. We're going to go for a team battle. Let's head to the museum. ESL 1, 2, 3. Won't you come and play with me? Let's get started. T-Mobile. Watch Team ZC. If you can get T-Mobile, if you can get the teams to get in contact with our admin, Danny W, then we'll be able to stream them, but I can't unless we can get those keys from them. So T-Mobile, if you've got the contact with the teams, please do hit them up. Get them to get in contact with the admins. We'll get the keys, we'll get the games on stream. XGD2, are you a magician? Because when I look at you, everything disappears. It's a good, again, it's a good concept. It doesn't quite make sense, but I think you're in the right area. I think you're in the right area. Keep trying, keep trying. Alright, we need some more peoples. Illol, the illustrious sniper. Part of this game along with Maxi Boy. Who else have we got? William Hunt, you're running the RSF with thermal optics. Nice. Someone knows how to live. Lucky guy, Gucci Gucci. Lucky guy, can you help out XGD2? Perhaps between the two of you, you can come up with some real quality jokes. I think we're getting there. We're getting there. We're so close. We're so close. The thing is, it's like one of those things that you don't get to see behind the scenes of someone coming up with great jokes on the road to there. Because you're going to come up with a lot of jokes that don't work. Are you lost because heaven is that way? I think you're closer, XGD2. So there's more logic behind what you're saying. Natoxi, we should try another weapon in the cog. Alright, that's what we'll do, Natoxi. What weapon do you want us to try? William Hunt, the RSF is pretty killer. I see the only killer here is you, William Hunt. Yeah, XGD2, I think the Are You Lost Heaven is that way is definitely... It's okay, at least it makes sense. That's the first thing, it's always going to make sense. Right, can I come on Discord after live? It's going to be pretty late here. I'm probably going to be going to sleep, but right... You can still come and play in the games. Bosk or Hawk. Alright, Toxic, I don't know if we've got a Bosk loadout, but I will note down to make one before the next game. Lucky guy, can you teach us some Romanian? I'd love to learn some Romanian, Lucky guy. Are you in Romania? Because that's where the game loft that makes this game are based. Alright, we just need one more to get ourselves started. Who is it gonna be? What are people saying in the chat? Something silly. Illol, are you a YouTuber? Hey, it's Bocchi, the person whose control scheme that you said. Alright, so let's get this one started. Here we go. XGD2, do you want some dry jokes? Sure. You want us to try BSW? Alright, we'll try a boss loadout, and I think we've actually got a BSW, I think. I don't know if I haven't tried doing sniping since we changed up our control scheme, but let's give it a go. Let's see. Oh no, we don't actually. Okay, what were the options? Bosk or Hawk? Well, let's go for a Bramston. Thank you, Bocchi, for teaching us how to be good at video games. No, Illol. The Toxie, you're gonna drop out to go eat, I understand. I hope what you eat is delicious. Lucky guy, you don't know why people say Romania is Dracula? Oh, I don't know, where is Dracula supposed to be from? I think Transylvania is traditionally the home of Dracula. The Toxie, you came back. You were gone, and then you came back again. That must have been a very small meal. Charging forward with Bocchi at my back. My least favorite thing in the game is the MP. Did I ever tell you that I'm good at video games? Oh gosh. Wait, that's someone on our team. Yeah, lucky guy, that is pretty weird. Oh gosh, are we permanently EMP'd? Because if we are, that really sucks. I think we are. Oh. Oh man, I think we've got someone. Yeah, we got a teammate with us who is saving our butts again and again. Lucky guy, your name is Stefan. Well, Stefan, nice to meet you. My name is Peter. I'm nice to meet ya. If you cross me paths, then I'm gonna beat ya? Maybe. Let's change to a red just for fun. Oh wait, no, they're disappearing. Oh, the humanity. The Toxie are almost on the French lobby, are we? I didn't realise there were different lobbies. Oh, you're talking to Stefan, okay. Oh gosh, that is someone with an extremely long name. Okay, we're spending a lot of time trying to kill people who are on our team. Okay. Alright, XGD2, what do skeletons eat? That's a good question. That's a question on everybody's lips right now as we come towards what seems like the inevitability of Britain's exit from the European Union. What do skeletons eat? I don't know. What do skeletons eat? XGD2. Right. Lucky guy thinks it's air. That's not unreasonable. So basically the answer is nothing. But right, YouTube just finished the campaign. Congratulations. That was never going to end well, was it? Alright. XGG2, they eat spare ribs. I mean, sure. I don't like it, but it would be okay as a Christmas cracker joke for sure. So I think with the... So Reich and the rest of you guys, would you be interested if I did a playthrough of the MC5 single player campaign on my channel? Would that be something that people would actually want to watch? Because someone mentioned it before and it's been something I've thought about for a while. But I don't know, I kind of feel like it's only really worth doing if folks actually want to see it. Right. Let's get our next game going. Let's go for a free-for-all on the streets. I believe young Daedalus is going to be joining us shortly on the mics, so please do give him a warm welcome. Lucky guy, you're going to add chapter 6. I'm not quite sure what you mean, lucky guy. Invite is out for the next game. Natoxi, are you giving away spoilers for the campaign? Oh! What did the ocean say to the pier? XGD2 says to us, nothing, it just waved. XGD2, I'll give you that one. It was a joke. It was not a joke I liked, but it was a joke. That is... The problem with jokes like that is, like, it works too well. So, I don't know. Like, I want stuff XGD2 that you've come up with yourself. And I think the pier and the ocean one feels like that's something that someone else came up with. You know, for me... I feel like the process of joke telling is important in of itself as to what it says about a person. Let's get Illol, that horrifically scary sniper, on our friends list. And Arjanu, bienvenue. Yes, lucky guy. Don't tell her. What was it? Wait. Oh yes. So Natox. What was it? Natoxi or Natox? Yeah, Natox. Don't tell us stuff that happens in the campaign if we're thinking about playing it. Though I don't know who any of those people are right now, but maybe I would. Right, Make a Modern Combat 5 was in 2014. Would you really want to have it? What was better about the game in 2014, right? Alright, let's get this one started. Okay, XGD2, you've made me smile, I'll give you that. So XGD2's joke was, did you hear the rumour about the butter? Well, never mind, I shouldn't spread it. I'll give you that. I'll give you that, XGD2. That was pretty good. Ah. That was weird. Yes, right, YouTube. Next week is live Android. Right, I don't know how well they're going to translate backwards and forwards between languages, but do you know any French jokes? Alright, just a sec. I'm going to bring a D-list on. Alright, so D-list. Alright, D-list, you're on stream now. Let me share you across.
Oh my god.
Hello.
I've always wanted to be on stream. Hey guys, I'm D-list. I'm happy to be here.
I'm getting killed a whole bunch of times while I'm sorting your stuff out.
Oh no! Oh no! Well, you know what kind of fits. I'm sure that that has been like a major trend of tonight. I tend to be the reason you die a lot because you have to like focus on me talking and talking to me as well, while also having to play MC5.
Oh man! That bocce put me down like a dog. So, D-list, and for all of you guys who are coming to the stream, just around now, we've been enjoying some sick jokes from XGD2 YouTube in the chat, as well as waiting on our first ESL game. We've got plenty of fantastic teams for you guys here today, so hopefully we'll be getting our first ESL match before too much longer. D-list, how do you feel about jokes?
Well, I like the jokes. So if you have any of the jokes, then I'll take the joke.
Let's see. Alright, so we've got some stuff from XGD2, our professional resident comedian, who says, "What's brown and sticky?" The answer, of course, being a stick. Like, that joke in itself is kind of funny the first time you hear it. I feel like that's the start of a sequence of other kind of weak jokes. Which kind of becomes funny.
Yeah. So, counterfeit. I have a something for you. I have a puzzle.
A puzzle?
Let's see if you can figure it out. So, are you ready?
Just a sec, I'm trying to murder someone. Yes, go for it.
Okay, so a guy could also be a girl.
Okay,
So a person, rather,
sure.
goes out of their apartment every single day in order to go to work. Right?
Alright.
They take the elevator down to the first floor, and then they go to work. When they come home from work, they go into the building, take their elevator up to the 4th floor, and then walk all the way back up to the 7th floor, which is where they live.
Okay.
Why don't they take the elevator all the way up to the 7th floor? Also, hi, Hero Game Simon. Thank you for dropping by. I hope you're doing well as well. I'm doing quite fine, thank you.
I don't know, I got a little confused. Honestly, the situation's a little confusing.
Do I need to... should I say it again?
I think... yeah.
Okay, so a person lives on the 7th floor of a building.
Yes. Okay, so they live on the 7th floor, yep.
Yes. And they have to go to work every single day.
Okay.
So when they go to work, they obviously go out of their apartment and into the elevator. They go down to the 1st floor, go
Is
to
the
work,
first floor like the... in this
the ground
case,
level.
Okay, because in the UK we call the first... we would call the ground floor.
Okay, well, they go to the ground floor then.
Okay.
So they go to the ground floor, then they go to work, and when they come home from work, they go into the elevator again, press the 4th floor, and then they walk up the stairs all the way to the 7th floor. Why is it that they don't press the 7th floor when they move into the elevator?
I have a feeling this is gonna be a terrible joke.
No, it's a puzzle.
Alright, we've got our first game of the day, LVG Alarga versus Engrave on Memory. Tragically, we'll have to work on that puzzle next time. But guys, we've got our first pass key. So let's jump into there. So let's see. This is going... I think we've actually skipped... Yes, we skipped ahead a little bit. So this is actually going to be our semi-final straight away. So these are the 2 of the 4 Japanese teams playing here today, going head-to-head. Engrave on Memory, definitely the favoured of the 2. But I'm just, I think we should always keep our eyes open for the possibility that we could get surprised by LVG Alarga.
Oh, absolutely. LVG coming in as the 6th seeded team. Engrave on the 2nd, so obviously Counterfeit, as you highlight, there is a big difference between the 2 in terms of what their skills should be. But with that being said, LVG, they stand as good a chance as every single team, because sometimes Engrave Memory, they don't have their best day, and today could be one of those days.
Yeah, for Engrave on Memory, their big rivalry is with Old Glory, who are in the upper half of the bracket, so they won't get to meet them until the finals, if they make it that far. For LVG, they have had not the best of runs recently, having big losses to Score Gaming, Old Glory, Impossible Mission Force, and Into the Wild, all teams above them on the table. So it's going to be a challenge for them to make it through to the finals here today. But Daedalus, if they do, then they're guaranteed to take home $150 dollarinos for their troubles.
That is obviously what they would love to get, a Counterfeit. $150 dollarinos. Could also be 350 if they can get all the way to that grand final. So there's a lot on the line here in this first semi-final of today. What happened when frogs parked illegally? They got towed.
XG's come out with some good ones now. A lot of these ones haven't been that great, but that's all right. XG apparently has been imbibing, so that might go to explain why some of the jokes have been a little bit dodgy. But XG, I like it. I like it.
Did you figure out my puzzle yet?
No, honestly.
Do you want me to tell you the answer?
Just a second. Sure. I mean, I don't even know where to go with that, really. It was... If it's not going to be as... I can only hope it's as good as the they get towed joke from XG G2.
No, they're just not a very tall person, so they can't press the 7th floor.
That is lame.
Well, it's a puzzle. What do you expect?
That's pretty... Like, that's a very unsatisfying answer. It's not a... Like...
It's satisfying if you figure it out.
I mean, is it?
Yes. I very much believe so.
Well, it's all about what we believe and what we can do with those beliefs. Our first game will be coming up in Engrave on Memory, representing Japan against their country folk from LVG. So, Dealers, from what I've been told, we'll probably be going most likely straight into the grand finals once this series is done. So don't get too attached to these guys. One of them is going to be going home at the end of this game. And it might just be one of us. Oh no!
I'm already at home, Counterfeit. What are you on about? I'm sitting in my, office chair, casting with you.
Oh, the humanity. Our first game of ESL action is just about to begin. Everybody, put your hands together. Come up with your best and worst jokes, for we have ourselves some quality ESL action, and the only way is up. The finals await for Engrave on Memory or LVG.
Yeehaw! Let's get this on the road!
It's quite the trip all the way up to the top. These teams, they've qualified through the weekly competition to be in front of you guys here today. She said Engrave on Memory playing over in the blue for the first game. Definitely a favoured squad. But Dealers, I'm curious if perhaps LVG can turn this early kill into more.
Well, perhaps they can kind of fit. I think we should stop looking at XGD2's jokes, because that last one was not very good at all. I'm not a huge fan.
What did the Egyptians say to the other Egyptian when they farted? We got a toot in common. Help. Gosh, that's quite the thing.
Yes,
right.
Absolutely. But now we are still in this ESL action. Engraver Memory, obviously coming in as the clear favorites. Now up by double the amount of points that LVG they have.
Yeah, look, we saw them performing before in those community games. There's an absolutely deadly sniper, not just a fantastic shot, but knows exactly where to be on the map to take full advantage of the opposing squad.
Right here, LVG. Delian trying to push in from the side, but gonna get taken down by that bomber. And now Veterans also gonna go down immediately. So Engraver Memory with that bomber buy themselves a bit more space to work with. And LVG suddenly sitting on the opposite side of this map. Still a lot of time to work with, 5 minutes and 25 seconds, but they're starting to fall quite far behind, and they're not really being allowed to push up and grab any room for themselves to work with. Those bombers, they keep coming in, they keep resetting the map.
Yeah, the rain of fire down from the sky. Engraver Memory, they're taking their early lead and pushing it through. I was checking in on Veterans there, the team owner of LVG, Alaga, but it's not actually them who's got the most kills so far. It is Chelitax, currently down at the moment, but those most kills also come with the most deaths on the squad as well.
Oh yes, and when you die this much and you aren't able to make up for it in terms of kills, then it just hurts the entirety of your team. And right now LVG, they're finding themselves behind nearly 10 kills. So not off to a very good position at all to work with. Now, Engraver Memory Rascal comes in, finds 2 kills. 5 and 2, a very positive scoreline.
We can see Engraver Memory, they're fighting it in the bottom of the map right now. It's a brutal close quarters exchange, which I think Engrave just about came out ahead of. Still though, nearly 10 ahead of LVG. Hey look, proving impossible to shift in this corridor. Engraver Memory, they are roaring ahead in this semi-final game 1.
Oh yes, they're not giving up this series to LVG. They are going to be the ones taking this series. That's at least the statement that they're making right here, right now. LVG, they're good, but against Engraver Memory, one of those all-time favorites, one of those long-time standing veterans, they just stand no chance. The expertise that Engraver Memory are showing right now is just much better comfort.
Yeah, some real impressive stuff. Welcome. Apparently we've got Dracula in the chat. I don't know quite where that one came from, but hey, we welcome to all our living and undead viewers. Engraver Memory is certainly digging a big hole for LVG, the country folk right now, ahead by 13 kills. Hey look, as we saw from those custom games, oh, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Had a little hiccup there on my OBS. Should be back up and working again. So let's see. So Iluk did get taken down there, which is a rare enough occurrence in of itself. LXM with a decent 6-5 record. Always risky to run up the stairs while chucking the grenade. You can't animation cancel out of that, so you're left completely defenseless. Chelitax does at least get a kill in, but it's looking like the tail of the tape was enough to predict this one so far. Engraver Memory seems to be on the road to a comfortable Game 1 win.
Yeah, LVG. Way too far behind. Engraver Memory just way better, and kind of think we have to give praise to Engraver Memory. They're able to find a lot of military support, and that's given them so much room to work with. While they haven't been the most clean team. Like, they've given up a fair amount of kills. Just getting those bombers in and having people rack up those kills has meant that they could buy themselves so much space on this map, because those bombers kept clearing out areas where LVG they were, and meant that the ground was always in favor of Engrave on memory.
Alright, so Iluk providing the hard carry alongside Vodka. Both of them doing extremely well. Notice though the rest of the Engrave on memory squad, nothing too crazy there. So Iluk and Vodka will need to continue to perform in game number 2. Guys, we're going to get you all back onto stream once again with the Parsky ESL 1, 2, 3. Our community game is going to be up and ready in just a second. Pilot Demon, why are there so many werewolves in the match and a big dog statue? Well, Deedless. That's got a lot to do with us having a tier 3 armor restriction in the game, and the werewolf being the strongest permissible tier 3 armor to play.
Well, kind of it. If you were a werewolf, where would you then live?
Where would I wolf? Is it?
Sure, where would you wolf? Let's say it that way.
Well, I mean, the classic, of course, is the American Werewolf in London. I suppose
An American Werewolf in London?
Have you not seen that movie?
No.
You probably don't need to, but you can find it on YouTube, the transformation.
American Werewolf in London.
I don't recommend any of our younger viewers Google YouTube that, because it's definitely not a kids movie. But it has some extremely impressive special effects, which are pretty gross, even by today's standards.
I'm gonna put that on my watch list, because that looks funny.
It's definitely worth seeing. Alright, I believe we've got ourselves our next match Parsky, so we're going to be running straight into that next one. I believe it will be our second game between LVG and Engrave on memory. And we'll be in there as soon as that one gets set up, and it just has been. So, Deedless, I don't know if you've read the chat already, you might have. But what do you call a pile of cats? This is another XGD2 classic.
A mutant.
Well, it's a meountain. Yeah, that's the sound a cat makes.
Sure.
XGD2, we appreciate you. We appreciate you.
All these bad jokes counterfeit.
Let's see. I wonder if there is a bad joke generator. Can we put...
Well, it honestly wouldn't surprise me if there is such a thing.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure there's generators for every single thing in the world.
Okay, here's one for Black Zone, who's not here today, but it still kind of works. So so, Dealers, we're on an agreement that probably our players use various forms of coffee and other stimulants to make sure that when the tournaments run long, you don't get sleepy at a vital time. Would you agree so far?
Yes.
So, I think it's fair to say that they would be sad if they didn't get access to their coffee. Would that seem, reasonable?
Yes.
So, if for example, LXM was like, I'm feeling a little bit tired and I need some coffee, they discover there's no coffee in the house. Instead of an espresso, they would have a de-espresso. Yeah, I mean, that was a lot of build up to really a very weak punchline.
Well, I like the one that XGD2 just posted.
Yeah.
Why did the picture go to the jail? It got framed.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Joaquin Candida, what do they call Japanese food in Japan? Food. I mean, sure. Joaquin Candida, you've got a pretty high bar to get over with XGD2, who not only is telling terrible jokes, but also experiencing an existential crisis the entire way through. As we get into our second game of ESL competition today, we're in the semi-finals. Engraver Memory and LVG. So far, this one's going a lot better for LVG, in a disadvantage with one game given up already.
It is absolutely doing that. Well, it's. Oh, I think I need some coffee as well, kind of it. It absolutely is going in the favor of Engraver Memory, but in LVG they're looking a bit better here to begin with now, 8-4. Though Engraver Memory, they are pulling ahead and leaving LVG in the dust.
Christopher S, do you know that caffeine reduces reaction time? Is that a... Wait, so Christopher, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm trying to think if a reduced reaction time would surely be a good thing. Maybe it means the other way around.
Yes, possibly means increased reaction time, which means that you take longer to react.
Well, if I was going to tell a story of Engraver Memory and LVG, I think I would have to start with Iluk here, who's certainly full of beans, coffee, or baked. 7-1 so far. We can see that Iluk is going out away from the rest of the squad. It's really just on a hunting expedition here for LVG players without even going for any kind of backup.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we do have an update for you. Into the Wild are already in the grand final, so we're going to have a very quick month final this time around, with most likely Engraver Memory going to have to face up against Into the Wild in that grand final.
Yes, that's what Christopher S was trying to say, as Iluk definitely sets themselves up as a player to be feared going forward from Engrave on Memory. Very, very nicely done. LVG, it started out so much better for them, but it all seems to have gone to hell. Chalita, their highest kill player, also the highest deaths as well. It's going to sneak around.
5-9 kind of it. Not a good scoreline to work with at all. Fortunately, it finds those kills, but it's just such a negative scoreline that LVG, they're suffering. Now, Engraver Memory, they're just so incredibly close to picking up this second map and going into the grand final.
Shell Attacks doing their best to pump out those BSW shots. Unfortunately, the firepower coming back from Engraver Memory is truly withering. LVG dying on the vine here. They have to win this game, and that seems to be impossible. Charging forward they come once again. Not slowing down, but the results do not change, do not vary. Engraver Memory, they are the tide washing LVG away.
Oh, they absolutely are. They're just way better than LVG. And with a 20 kill lead, Vodka comes in, finds a triple kill, and actually not only takes down LVG by going to 50 kills, takes them down by going to 51 as well. Engraver Memory, they are a team to be feared, and now with us moving into the grand final, you know what? Their opponents Into the Wild surely must be scared.
I mean, Iluk definitely making a case, well, making just the case for being the best player in that last game. You can see 15-5. Again, it's Iluk and it's Vodka, but this time round, the other members of Engraver Memory did perform better. So, lucky guy, yes, the blue win has been confirmed. That means we're going to need to get you guys back onto stream once again. XGD2's jokes just kind of gotten weirder.
I'm not sure I understand that one.
I mean, I think it's just not particularly clever, is what it primarily is.
Perhaps. I'm just not sure I understand it.
Pilot Demon, you're going to go against everyone by yourself and win? That's quite a claim, partner.
Pilot Demon, definitely not as scared of showing up against the Destroyer. And show them who's also...
Yeah, you gotta show them who's boss, see?
Who's bossy or who's the boss?
The boss is possible, the boss.
Ooh.
So, Dealers, you mentioned before that we have already got our grand final confirmed. Who is it that we shall be seeing and matching up against Engraved on Memory in that best of 5 grand finals coming up?
It's going to be Into the Wild. They have been moved into the grand finals, so it's going to be Into the Wild versus Engraved on Memory. Quite a matchup, if I have to say so myself. Obviously, 2 Japanese teams, never something that you should be unhappy about. So definitely going to be a good grand final, I assume.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we started out this tournament with an even split between the Japanese and non-Japanese teams. Definitely a stronger presence for competitive MC5 in Japan. So thank you to all of you guys for coming along.
Why do bananas need sunscreen? Because they need to peel.
Joaquin Candida, I feel like your jokes are probably cleverish, but I'm not. I feel like I'm not quite landing because I actually don't know what the thing it is you're talking about. I think Tang is some sort of drink.
Perhaps. I'm
But
not sure.
I don't know if it exists outside of America. Oh, so in Romania, Centrum is a medical
it could be
pill,
like
okay.
kelp, perhaps.
Kelp. It's not a kind of fish.
Oh wait, no. Kelp is like seaweed.
Yes. Okay. So Tang is a artificially flavored drink mix. Okay. Yeah, we don't have it over here. So I think that's why it didn't quite land. Centrum is a medical pill. Okay, so that's why that didn't really work. It's tough. Like, I feel like maybe in places that people knew what that was, that would have been a really good joke. But as it is, it just confused the heck out of both of us.
Yep, to say the least.
Ah, lucky guy, thanks for dropping by and trying your hand at joining in with everything today. Hope to see you again. We'll be back tomorrow for a couple of iOS tournaments as well. So, thank you for spending your time with us. Alright, we've got Ruben. We need some more folks to fill out this scramble team battle. Daedalus, what's that key to get them through the door?
ESL 1, 2, 3, and the platform is iOS.
Ah, there you go. You can stick that in your Tang and drink it.
Well, are you sure?
I don't know.
Can you drink passwords?
I don't know. You don't know unless you try.
That's true, so let's give it a try. Are you gonna mix up a drink for me?
I'm gonna mix up some quality MC5 for you and deliver it to you on a plate. Oh wait, what's this?
That's a passkey.
Oh, well in that case, I'm sorry guys, we're gonna have to abandon ship on you and head across to our duties. So guys, Engraved on Memory versus our good friends Into the Wild for our grand finals here today. As you said, Dealers, this, as much as our previous semi-final was a little bit one-sided, this grand final should be anything but.
Yeah, the grand final is going to be amazing kind of it. Obviously, with us having 2 Japanese squads, it's just going to be super aggression after super aggression after super aggression. And we're probably going to have these matches coming up fast because Japanese teams, they're always quick with those passkeys.
For sure, that has tended to be the case. We'll be heading onto the streets for our first grand finals game. So we've got some new jokes coming in. Why does a chicken coop have 2 doors? Because if it had 4, it would be a chicken sedan.
Yep, that's not one of the best that you've made. HGD2.
I mean, that's actually kind of clever, but like, it's not really funny. It's witty. Sort of.
Sure. Sure, I can get behind that.
Pilot Demon has confirmed for us that you can, in fact, drink passwords. Happy day, happy day.
Well, kind of it. I'm gonna go make myself a cup of ESL 123 then.
Well, don't quite yet, because that's not the passkey to this game, which we're going to be bringing you through first. Hey, Karen's in the chat. Karen,
Hey, Soldier Girl.
turn your eyes away. This chat is full of terrible jokes.
And unless you're, well, a big lover of terrible jokes, then you don't want to see them.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Alright, XGD2. I'm pretty sure Soldier Girl will appreciate it if you come up with... Well, actually, so XG, I'm assuming that Soldier Girl hasn't been in the stream up until now. So this is a chance to deploy. Which do you think was your best joke? Okay, yep. I thought Karen would be a good audience for these kind of jokes. Why did the Canada Crusher quit its job? Because it was so depressing.
See,
There you
that's
go.
a good one. That's a really good one. I like that one.
Pilot Demon, why are you guys... I don't think this is a joke. I think this is just a observation. Why are you guys drinking coffee? It makes you short. Hey, Shinsuke. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, Soldier Girl just dropping by the stream. For any of you guys who are coming to the stream for the first couple of times, Soldier Girl, for a very long time, kept the ESL competitions going as our primary admin. And Dealers, we owe... the entire MC5 community owes her a lot. I don't think, honestly, that the MC5 competitions would still be going without Soldier Girl's work.
No,
Shinsuke, I'm sorry.
Well,
I thought you drifted off.
no. But you're right, Confit. Obviously, Soldier Girl needs every single compliment that we can come up with. She has been such a huge driving force behind MC5. What do you call a man that doesn't? Ah, man.
What do you call a man that doesn't toot in public? A private tutor. That's smile inducing for sure. Right, so currently I think we've got Engrave on Memory here. I'm not sure. Okay, there we go. I think so. Let's get these teams at switcherooed. Oh, Christopher S. That's a little bit of a rough joke. Jeez. Not gonna read that one out on stream.
Yeah, that seems a bit too much.
So we got Into the Wild over on the left with their bizarre team logo, and Engrave on Memory over on the right. We was already seeing the... Let's see, so the person we're missing is actually Iluk, their star player, the one who hasn't shown up so far for Engrave on Memory. Hopefully they'll be here shortly to help deploy the pain.
Crossing our fingers. But Engrave on Memory already ready to go into the wild. Coming in as our 4th seeded team, so Engrave on Memory being the 2nd seeded, obviously does have I mean, like the gap between them aren't that big anymore. That's just what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, Into the Wild have done pretty well in recent times. They managed to actually win a whole monthly funnel themselves, which is pretty impressive stuff. So, yeah, they're definitely a sleeper team. They beat out Engrave on Memory, IMF, and LVG to make it through. So, they haven't got wins against Into the Wild. They've got... Oh, sorry, my brain's falling over here. I think they've got the historical wins over Engrave on Memory, but given how hot Iluk's been running today for the Engrave team, I don't know if anyone can take them down.
No, and with Iluk being able to get so many kills as well, kind of fit. Bombers has been a clear thing, so Iluk, you need to make sure that you take them down early on so that they can't develop those kill streaks and get those bombers in, because that just buys too much space for Engrave on Memory to work with.
Alright, that's not a bad one. D-Less, did you hear about the circus fire?
I did not.
It was intense. It works. I kind of feel that's one that actually works better in writing than it does said out loud for some reason. I don't think it's...
Yeah, it does. It does work better in writing, though it's still really funny when you're saying it.
I'm on randomized bad jokes, but these are just kind of like lame rather than entertainingly bad. Let's see, dadjokegenerator.com. Alright, what is Beethoven's favourite fruit, D-Less?
I'm not sure.
Bananas? I feel that's probably too sophisticated of a joke. Tell you what, guys, we'll take a very short break while the last players get into place. I think we're about to start in a second, but we'll be back momentarily. Alright. Dajo boo, dajo boo, dajo boo. It's time for our all-Japanese Grand Finals as the two teams battle for a prize pool of $500. A rich prize indeed for our two competing teams. Now, we know that Into the Wild and Engrave on Memory suspected to be a very closely matched team as they both come crashing into each other in the close quarters. Zilu finally manages to stop some of that push. Iluk, we've been looking for to be the big carry for the Engrave on Memory squad. It's been a fairly even team battle right in the center. As things cool off a little bit, Into the Wild fall back and try and regather themselves.
But Engrave on Memory with that 2-kill lead are sitting them in a fair position so far within this first minute. Counterfeit, did you see the joke that XGD2 wrote about the horse?
We'll have to come back to that. As who am I?
After the game then. But anyway, Engrave on Memory still 2 kills in the lead, but Into the Wild, they're biting back. Who am I? Well, who am I? Your killer made you find a kill. But now Into the Wild looking for that shot. Verso finds Ruff. And suddenly it's even.
Just to clarify in the chat, the $500 is the prize pool between the two teams. It's not per player. Unfortunately, you are talking about some ridiculous amounts of money there. But no, basically these monthly finals are the reward that the teams can earn for themselves by doing well in weekly competition. They push up their seeding, making it more likely they get through to the grand finals, where they share those $500, $350 to first place, $150 to second. Still a pretty hefty prize for their journey so far.
Oh, absolutely counterfeit. And it looks like the two teams for that line's share of the prize pool. Engrave on Memory, they're only up by 3 kills. That's nothing compared to how well they did against LVG. Into the Wild, they're putting themselves, or they're giving themselves every single advantage that they can find. They're not gonna just fall over like a paper card against Engrave on Memory.
The blade that's cutting the deepest from Engrave is definitely Zilu, who we're watching right now. 9-0 so far. A ludicrously strong performance from that sniper, who we can see shows no fear whatsoever in getting right up into the Wild faces.
And CeeLo hasn't died yet, Counterfeit, so CeeLo is, well, honestly just a god right now. 10 kills? That's what nearly 1/3 of the kills that Engrave on Memory they have, so that is just, sorry, it's over 1/3, so it's just crazy to see how well CeeLo is doing.
And nothing comparable on the Into the Wild side, though the overall team performance from Into the Wild is just that little bit stronger. We're looking at Iluk, who before has been the rock of the Engrave on Memory team, not having a good game this time round at all. Makes you wonder, what's changed here for the Engrave previous star player.
Well, Counterfeit, that's a question that we're gonna have to face moving into game number 2, because right now, Iluk, not the star player at all. That's all about CeeLo, who's only died once. But Vodka, if we can check in with them, Counterfeit are doing quite well for themselves as well. 8-6, not the prettiest of score lines, but as long as you have that solid positive line, you're doing yourself and your team a favor.
See there, Vodka deploying the health pack to keep them up in close quarters. The shotgun, of course, extremely deadly, but not a guaranteed kill by any means. A bloody exchange just outside the center of the map. H2 PTM gonna go charging in. Smart to use the support here to get the respawns in, as Into the Wild they are catching up. 3 kills in a row with only a couple traded back.
But still up by 3 kills in Grave on Memory. They aren't giving up, and they keep just holding on to this lead, Counterfeit. But Into the Wild, they're always behind them. They can feel that breath just in the back of their necks.
Zelo switching across. Agent getting a nice double kill through there. Could be the door opening up for Into the Wild to bring this first game back. 2 minutes left to play. Engrave now tied neck and neck as we come to the final part of this first game of a potential 5.
Now Into the Wild, they're evening up things, but no, Iluk comes in and says, no way, I have a big gun, I'm gonna take you all down, say hello to my little friend, and suddenly it's 47, sorry, rather 46, 48 to 44, right here in Grave of Memory, solidifying their lead, and perhaps picking up the victory, but not if Into the Wild have a thing or two to say about it, with that grenade picking up 2 kills. Now it's even! Counterfeit! What's gonna happen?
It's down to the final kill. Who is gonna grab it for themselves? Iluk has been stepping up in the end of the game, but no! They are the one to fall. The ace of the Engrave on Memory team supplanted in this first game as Into the Wild. What a comeback for them, taking down Iluk and claiming that first point. 3 needed to call themselves monthly champions.
What a turnaround from Into the Wild. Coming back at the very last second, but honestly it's not that surprising when you look at the scoreline from Into the Wild. You have 3 players above 10 kills, and then over on Engrave on Memory, CeeLo was the one carrying the entirety of that team. So Engrave on Memory, they need to see CeeLo, Iluk, and everyone just step it up a notch in that next game, or else Into the Wild, they're just going to look better once again.
Hibana Gaming, remembering some of our teams from yesteryear. Destiny, Roxas, Old Glory. Well, Old Glory is still playing. NW? I can't remember who NW even is. I know, ESL used to be competitive. This match took so long. I don't understand what you mean, Hibana Gaming. If we go all the way to the final point, isn't that more competitive rather than it being one-sided?
I feel like this was so competitive. Coming down to the last point, kind of it couldn't have been way closer.
Alright guys, we're going to try and sneak it in if we can. ESL 1, 2, 3. Do come and join us live on the stream. And we'll see what we can get done before the next game comes through. As Steelers pointed out before, our Japanese teams tend to be pretty quick with getting their lobbies up. So we'll see if we can get you in. If we can't, then A.
Yeah, if you want to play, you need to be fast. Because I will say that possibly within the next 2 minutes, we're going to have that pass key. So be quick if you want to play on stream.
Shinsuke, a very intense match. Yeah, absolutely. And as Steelers pointed out, Engrave on Memory, they look good. They looked good because of their player Zelu in that game. They had their, Iluk, their other carry, just kind of absent for most of that last game. Only came to life at the very end when they started roasting through everyone. But I think Iluk in particular is going to be at least need to be stepping up alongside Zulu if Engrave are going to bring this series back.
You can't rely on a single guy to carry your entire team in a team shooter like MC5. So, kind of you're definitely right that you need to see someone like Iluk step it up. But at the same time, I would like to see at least one more player come in and do the same, like we saw for Into the Wild. And now we do have a passkey.
Well, let's get... Well, I suppose we might as well just get this one started and then pop back out again. Okay, so I thought it was probably a little bit ambitious to try and do a community game now. So what we'll do, I'll tell you what, guys, we'll probably... Well, it would depends how the series goes. If it goes to 5 games, then it's quite likely that will be it for this particular stream, because it'll be running quite late for both of us. But if it goes to say only 3 games, then we might well be able to get in another community game afterwards. But guys, as well, you know, if for any of you guys who've been around for a while, do let us know what stuff you remember about the... Whoops. Let me try that one again. There we go. What do you remember about the old MC5 teams? Because the MC5 esports scene has been around for absolutely ages.
Oh yes, it has kind of fit. So, there's been so many different teams, and some of those old gods, they're still here. Score Gaming and, well, I think it's fair to say that at this point in time, Engrave on Memory and Impossible Missions Force, they are veterans as well. But obviously, teams have been there before those two teams. So, if you remember any of them, do let us know.
Yes. Well, I do remember Destiny and I think it was Vio or Violence being, one of the things. I mean, a lot of the players that we've, that are even in the chat now have been through a fair few different teams. Joaquim Candida, Bocce is better than all. Well, I certainly appreciate their control scheme. That's pretty good. I can't remember if Bocce still plays... I don't think Bocce still plays competitively. XGD2... Man, keeping going with them jokes. What do you call a cheese that's not your cheese? Nacho cheese.
Oh, whoa. We need to hear the one about the horse. That was actually a really good one.
Oh, really? What was all about the horse?
Okay, are you ready?
Sure.
Let me find it real quick. There we go. What did the horse say after it fell?
I don't know.
Help! I fell. I can't giddy up.
Yeah.
Nah, I think it's good.
Yeah.
Ah man, you are hard to please today.
Mira Olivares, why do I have to carry my team 95% when I play Team League battles? I get the crappy team. Why? Well, that will be why. You've kind of, Maria, you've kind of answered your question with your question. If you're doing well, you won't get given good teams. Like that's by design. If you if they gave you a good team while you were climbing, you would never stop climbing. You're being given bad teams to see how well you can carry a team, and that's how you kind of even out as far as your ranking goes. Is how bad of a team can you carry and still win? I think I'm right in that, aren't I, D-List?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you, kind of fit.
So yeah, Maria, if you think your team is bad, that's a good sign, because it means that the game's ranking system thinks you're good enough to carry that team. So don't worry, if someone does badly as well, it's worth noting, because I've played a fair bit of MC5 ranked. It doesn't actually matter if your team wins or loses. It's about your individual performance in the game. It's harder, admittedly, to get a lot of points when your team is suffering, but it's not impossible.
Absolutely not, and well, I don't know. I can get the point about you being irritated because of your team not necessarily doing that well, but at the same time, it still just gives you an opportunity to train your ability to duel and to fight against people on your own. So, kind of it. You know what? I think that you should see it in a happy light. The fact that you're getting a chance to play with teammates that aren't necessarily going to be backing you up all the time.
Well, guys, if you want to have the experience of playing with teammates that you can trust, there's no better way than to join ESL competition, just like all of these players have done here. Now playing it for high stakes, $500 will be divided based on the result of this series. Into the Wild stealing that last game. Zelu, who we're checking with now, pretty much the sole reason why Into the Wild were doing so well.
Now let's see how this is gonna fare. Zelo and Eluk and basically everyone else from Into the Wild kind of fit. Sorry, not Into the Wild. Engrave on Memory. You need to swap the names on the scoreboard.
Oh, I do apologize.
If Zelo and Engrave on Memory they are to do well this time around, kind of it, then we just need to see them perform to a completely different level. Everyone needs to step up. Zelo can't be the only one finding those kills.
There we go. Sorry about that, guys. So, the first blood goes to the Into the Wild squad, so not a high kill volume game so far. Looks like both teams, you can see on the map, trying to maneuver to find those untraded kills. You can see Into the Wild, they're holding tight up in the top right hand corner. Engrave on Memory, forced to find those angles.
It's a slow game, however, here to begin with. Into the Wild, they're finding that first kill kind of fit. And Engrave on Memory, not really pushing up so far, but I do like the fact that they're taking it this slow. There's no reason to rush up against Into the Wild because they know right now that Into the Wild are grouped up, so you're obviously going to move into a fortress, and you don't really want to put yourself at a huge disadvantage just from you trying to find those kills, because you're just going to get shot if you move in against people who have the defender's advantage.
Uchiha showing no fear, heading right into the Wild lines as Vodka comes charging forward, blowing through the defensive line. Into the Wild actually falling behind here as a brutal exchange ensues right up in the spawn. Into the Wild, they're spawning back in again. And I think Engrave's offense has been blunted for now.
Engrave on Memory, however, they are only one kill behind kind of it. Into the Wild, not really finding that huge of a lead, but Into the Wild, they still are just a tiny smidge ahead. So we don't want to take anything away from them.
Into the Wild, they felt like the underdogs in the previous game. Now they've got a solid strategy, just try and bleed out Engrave on Memory as they come in to try and make plays of their own. You've got JP up in the corner with a sniper rifle, 2-0 so far. Not a bad start. Of course, we're looking to see how Zelu does, and right now it hasn't been so good. Only 2-5. It's Vodka who's been stepping up so far.
Ooh, but Vodka gets shot in the face right there from one of those Into the Wild members. And suddenly, kind of it, time is running out, and Engrave Memory finding themselves 5 kills behind. Make that 6, and suddenly, with us only having 3.5 minutes left, Engrave Memory, they have to start to wonder, how will they work this out? Because you don't want to go down 2 games in best of 5 series. That means that you have to win every single game remaining, and at that point in time, it's looking very unlikely you have to be perfect. And if you've lost 2 games, then it hasn't been a perfect series so far.
JP, the only one looking perfect so far from Into the Wild, just proving it unkillable up on that sniper's nest. It looks like, for Engrave on Memory, they've just decided to instead go try some other angles, but you can see, while JP is up here as a sniper, until they get taken down, they're going to stop any flanking from the Engrave team.
Yeah, you need to deal with those snipers. Vodka moving up does have ooh, no, you're gonna get in there, and can you find a kill? No, gets 1 kill and takes that knife out. Vodka comes in with that grenade launcher, takes them down, but it's going to be what, like a 1-4-3-4 trade, because sorry, rather JP found so many kills before being taken down.
Yeah, that was just brutal. To think that JP is a good enough player for the Into the Wild squad, you send 3 people to take them down and they only just manage it at the cost of 2/3 of their life. I mean, we saw Into the Wild's JP was just untouchable, and if you go after them, you lose more than you actually even gain.
And that is a huge problem for them, not only in this map, but the upcoming one too. Into the Wild, finding themselves soon to be, what, like 12, 15 kills up, now 12 kills up here against Engraver Memory. Engraver Memory, they need to start looking towards map number 3, because at this point in time, it's looking rather unlikely for them to make that comeback. They're gonna have to try it, but it's just going to take them to play perfect, and I don't think they're going to be able to find that perfect playstyle. Not here with this little time remaining.
It felt like for Engraved on Memory that Streets was their map, because sure as heck Overtime does not seem to be, just getting absolutely routed as they are chased down, engaging in these close range firefights. Is there any good news? No. Both of the top scoring players for Engraved on Memory have nearly twice the deaths as they have kills. It is just nastiness all round.
And now at 41 counterfeit, nastiness is indeed all around for Engraved on Memory. Into the Wild, they're happy, they're one step closer to winning this grand final.
Christopher asking, do the players communicate the teams? They absolutely do. There's a built-in voice chat, but a lot of players were already using Discord or something similar to talk to each other. Communication is tremendously important, and it's one of the things that makes these ESL players be able to perform even better than their individual impressive skills.
And communication is always needed when you're playing in a team, Christopher. Right now, Engraved Memory, though, they are looking like they're not communicating. They absolutely are, but their communication needs to step it up a notch, and they need to find a much better way of communicating together in game number 3. We're heading there right now. We're gonna move over to the next map, which will be Construction Site Counterfeit. Then they need to show us that they can make that comeback happen, because right now I'm not a believer, but against Into the Wild, they need to now play perfect, because else they're gonna lose the entire grand final.
You can see down there at the bottom, JP, the only member of the entire game who had a significant difference between their kills and deaths. So it should have been even, but ultimately, Into the Wild as a team just a little bit better, but JP a whole world ahead of everyone else. Guys, we'll be going to a short break. When we return, we will have that 3rd game of the grand finals, which could easily be the last as well. Into the Wild coming in and potentially taking home $350 after the break. We'll see you there. Welcome back, friends across the planet. We're coming into game number 3 of Engrave Our Memory and Into the Wild. The Wild Ones surprised us in game 1 with a 1-point victory, and in game 2 they dominated. Let's find out what game 3 has got in store, as Engrave Our Memory are on the brink of elimination.
But they are off to a good start already, Counterfeit, finding 3 kills. Hey, look. However, from in... Oh, sorry, no. Again, Counterfeit, we can swap those names around. Into the Wild, actually, they're the ones off to a good start, finding 6 kills to begin with. Engrave Our Memory, less so. Looking very lackluster here to begin with. Having only found 3 kills. Into the Wild, already off to nearly 10 of their own.
Yes, my apologies, guys. All fixed now. Agent 4-0 so far. An extraordinary start for them, taking out Zilu. Once a carry for the Sharks of Engrave on Memory. It's still, though, far from over. Engrave trying to fight their way back. This Onion punching above their weight so far. 3-0. Engrave on Memory starting to have their eyes filled with hopes if they can build up a carry of their own.
Engrave on Memory here with Onion, as you say, Counterfeit, looking to put some tears into the eyes of Into the Wild. Agent, however, the other carry here from Into the Wild, that's the one that Onion is going to have to deal with. Right now, Onion not finding any kills. Into the Wild pushing themselves up forward.
We're seeing right now the fight for the sniper's nest as Zilu takes out Who Am I from up above. It's dead even between the two teams. Control of the outside to Engrave on Memory, but Into the Wild, they're feeling aggressive, trying to push forward, but actually losing out 2 members for nothing.
Oh, Engrave on Memory, they're making sure to stay competitive this time around, Counterfeit. Not falling too far behind, and even if they fall behind, they catch back up real quick. Now, obviously, there's still 5 minutes to go, but this could be Engrave on Memory starting that comeback. And we did say that they need to play perfect from now on. They need to win the last 3 games in order to win this best of 5.
Yeah, Engrave certainly on the right track to move forward, as Onion again sort of just roaming it down in beneath the construction site. Absolute ruler of their domain, but no one seems to be willing to come down there anymore. Into the Wild, they're in the center, looking to try and pick off kills from long range. But Engrave, they're pretty well entrenched. ROF does get taken out from long range, though. Into the Wild just needs 3 more, but Onion, the difference maker, down in the depths.
But Onion needs to find more kills, Counterfeit, to really put Engrave on Memory on that scoreboard. 6 kills, that's fine, yes, but it's only it has only meant that Engrave on Memory has found themselves a 5-kill lead. They would want a much bigger lead to just solidify themselves as the winners here of game number 3. But Into the Wild, still with Agent and the rest here, can make that comeback, but they need to go through Onion, who are still absolutely on a tear.
Who Am I grabs one as Onion goes round. Will they take the first death? No! They stand strong in the face of Into the Wild. We're coming up the halfway mark. Engrave on Memory, they are finally ahead. Onion's performance accounts for that entire lead, almost. Real impressive stuff. And where was this Onion before?
Good question, Counterfeit. Good question. Onion needed to come in just a few maps ago, but now at the very last time, obviously does come in and makes sure that the Engrave on Memory will not go out without a fight. Even if they lose this grand final 3-1, it has been better than losing it 3-0.
So Iluk stepping up for the team once again. Onion, of course, as we mentioned before. Zilu, who carried 16-5 in that first game, has settled down to a much more sensible 7-6 scoreline. Vero is punching out, though, onto the main part of the field. Cleans out the snipers of Engrave on Memory. I don't think Into the Wild are quite done in this game 3.
No, I'm sure they are not, Counterfeit. They have 8 kills in the lead. Sorry, they are 8 kills behind Engraved Memory. 8 kills up, but only 2 minutes left to go, so Into the Wild, still plenty of time to work with. Right now I like what Into the Wild are doing, especially right here with Who Am I? Keeping control over this tunnel. But in Engraved Memory, they're not going to be pushing out at all. They have this lead, so there's no reason for them to move out and put themselves at a risk of falling behind.
A very canny play from Engrave on Memory. They know what they have right now, which is a lifeline in the finals. It's what they had to buy themselves in this game. It's what they're going to be riding as long as they possibly can. 1 minute 30 left to go. If Into the Wild don't go for things here, they're going to run out of time.
Yes, they need to start moving now. Now, Counterfeit. They're just falling to rough with that sniper. But Into the Wild, they're dragging things out. They need 8 kills. They need to move it now. And even if they die as well, then they're just going to need even more kills. So now is the time to move. Rough finds kill however onto H2P TM. And now, Engrave on Memory. 10 kills up still. We're going to a third game. Sorry, a fourth game.
It could have been a clean 3-0 for Into the Wild. Shocking in Game 1, surprising in Game 2, but falling down in Game number 3. A convincing victory for Engrave on Memory seems to be on the cards. 2 kills away. Who Am I? Drops down the firepower from the sky. Could Into the Wild somehow pull this one back? It seems so incredibly unlikely.
It will be very unlikely with time running out. But there we go, Engraved Memory picking up that last kill. CeeLo with the knife. Make sure that Engraved Memory will win the third game, Counterfeit. And we have a series on our hands. Engraved Memory, they are not out yet.
So from the construction site to conversion, our game number 4. The Sharks still swimming for now. A close game, but convincing by the end. Iluk stepping up again. Most kills in that game, though. Pretty close on the deaths. Definitely the MVP going across to Onion there. 9-4 doesn't look that good by the end. But for a lot of that, that was 8-0. Real impressive stuff. Guys, we will be taking ourselves the shortest break we can get away with. Into the Wild, Engrave on Memory. Game number 4. Still match point for Into the Wild. Coming up in just a few short minutes' time. Welcome one, welcome all to Game 4 of our Grand Finals here today. It's the last chance still for Engrave on Memory as they try to reverse sweep into the wild. That last game looked so good for them, and Onion was a big part of that.
Oh yes, Onion needs to be this big carry once again. Coming in here with the shotgun once again. Oh, it will die out. So that very first encounter, not a good start. Into the wild. Making sure to keep a lid onto Onion here to begin with and actually grab up the lead for themselves as well.
JP, the legendary sniper from before, runs right into a pile of onions and vodka. Sounds like a good evening to me. But for Into the Wild, it could be disaster.
Who am I, Counterfeit, when I meet onions and vodka? That's the question from Into the Wild. Is who am I comes in and fights 2 kills. Suddenly, this is just a furious game. People dying left and right, and we're not even a minute in, and there's been 18 kills, Counterfeit. These 2 teams, they're just bashing heads.
You can hear the pounding of artillery strikes raining down here on Conversion, dead even between the 2 teams as Iluk lands a beautiful grenade. Let's check in with those score lines. Who am I leading on the side of Into the Wild in red? Vodka over on the blues. We'll have to see how this one progresses, because right now it's way too close to call.
It absolutely is. Engrave on Memory, they have the lead now, but that is going to be fleeing in just a moment, kind of. And you see right there, Heptom and Agent, they come in, find those kills, and suddenly it's down to only 1 kill in the lead for Engrave on Memory. As we've said, these 2 teams, they bash heads, and no one is coming out ahead. Now 17 to 17, 5 minutes left to go. Recon aircraft coming in from Engraver Memory. That's going to be valuable. Gonna give them some information to work with to figure out where Into the Wild they are moving.
Let's check in so we can see Engrave on Memory. They're up at the top. Zelu, the most exposed member, going in there, taking out with a shot to the face. Double kill there for Vero. I have to assume a courtesy of a well-placed grenade. We're still neck and neck as we're coming close to the halfway mark. Both these teams pouring out blood on the construction site as Into the Wild, they look like they are starting to take that lead they've been fighting for.
Into the Wild, they want to finish things here. Now, right here, Counterfeit, on this map, on Conversion, but it's only a 4-kill lead. It's not too big, but who am I? Slaughters 2 members right there. Vodka and Onion going down. And suddenly, 6 kills in the lead here for Into the Wild. Means that they are looking absolutely unstoppable.
4 minutes left to play. 4 kills separating the 2 teams. Into the Wild leading heavily on the performance of Who Am I, but it's still so damn close. You can see that the spread of kills on Into the Wild, very minimal for Engrave on Memory. They have got definitely Zelu before the carry of the squad, this time struggling on Conversion, and there's no clear standout player for Engrave on Memory.
That's unfortunate in this game where they need a standout player like Who Am I. They don't have that. Onion can't step up to the former glory. Goes down, but look, actually 11 kills, 12 kills. Sables come in here, and suddenly the score is equalized and even once again.
Iluk sees an enemy team and sees is the opportunity. Knocked down to 4% health, but maybe this is the carry that the team have been looking for. Iluk looking for a second kill, almost falls down to the number 1 from Into the Wild.
38 to 37 Counterfeit. This is gonna come down to the very last kill, it feels like. Into the Wild, they're not giving up, but Engrave on Memory will not go silent into the night either. And both teams, they reach 40 kills.
Iluk stepping up, remembering that they were the carry that was promised. Vodka as well. Those are the 2 leading players for Engrave on Memory. They have to pull through if Engrave are going to survive. Into the Wild, they're so close to those 350 euros, sorry, dollars for today's competition. 1 kill ahead, 2 minutes to play.
5 kills. 4 kills for Into the Wild. Engraver Memory, they need 5. Who's gonna find it? Who am I? Steps it up once again. Finds 3 kills out of nowhere. And suddenly, who am I? Closes this game. Entire wipe of Engraver Memory comes out from Who Am I. 17 kills, 11 deaths. Doesn't care. Into the Wild, they win that game right here. And Who Am I was just such a huge performance in this last one.
What a way to end a monthly finals. Good grief. That was just eye-watering. What we saw there from MVP, Who Am I, 17-11. She said claiming the lives of every single Engraved on Memory player. I mean, that's one way to stamp your authority definitively on iOS.
What a way to show that even though Engraved on Memory, they come in with the higher ranking, then that doesn't necessarily make them the better team. So well played to Into the Wild, and honestly, what a performance. Delian Gaming over on YouTube. I have a question. What's your question, Delian Gaming?
We'll do, since that one did end up being a little bit shorter, we're going to do one last community game for you guys before we call it a night here today. So ESL 1, 2, 3, come and kick back and relax with us as we bathe in the glory that is Who Am I, and of course, managing to bring it Into the Wild to a 3-1 victory overall. Very impressive stuff. Oh, Delian Gaming, if you win ESL, gosh, okay. I'm curious where this one's going.
Oh, same. But I feel like Engraved on Memory as a team, they did do all right in that one game where they won, because they had control over the game kind of. And it meant that once they found that lead and they could build up that control, they were able to then also set the pace of the game. But when they were bashing heads with Into the Wild, it just meant that they couldn't control the pace of the game, and they had to continually go up against these guys who would just be better and always have someone who could go for those 3 kills, 4Ks, and take them down.
I mean, we just saw some absolutely fantastic MC5, and I mean, that's what, that's the whole point of the monthly finals, is to draw out the very, very best from our players. And that last game in particular, just some incredible runs there, when I honestly just had no idea who was going to win it until the very end. Especially, Iluk stepping up, after having a fairly, even game up to that point. I thought that would be enough. Ultimately,
Well, ooh is the only thing we can say kind of it. It was a crazy game. It definitely delivered. And I'm happy to have been a part of today's stream and just see them go all the way to 4 games. Even though Engraved on Memory, they lost that grand final, it still felt like it was competitive for at least 2-3 maps.
I mean, for sure, Engraved on Memory definitely didn't come into this as a favoured team. They had struggles against the top teams. And so, there was every chance we wouldn't even see them get that far. But all respect, Vodka, Iluk, Onion in particular, from the Engraved on Memory squad. Just some real impressive play. I think they'll remember that for a long time. Into the Wild, though, again, they're a team that have been left behind, perhaps, by some of the bigger squads in the consideration, but they've taken 1 blue finals. They've now gotten a 2nd finals win as well. I think it's hard to deny that Into the Wild are here as a major force in MC5 esports.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with you, kind of it.
Alright, I don't think we've quite got enough players at this time of night. I think a lot of you guys must have gone to sleep as well. So we'll call it there. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. This will be the first of multiple monthly finals that will be coming up over the next few weekends. So do stay tuned. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow with a regular weekly iOS as well as a monthly finals iOS as well. Tons more MC5 coming this weekend. If you haven't already, please do follow Modern Combat on whatever platform you're watching on right now. You can also find Modern Combat on Instagram. Daedalus, where's your stuff online?
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube at DeedlessCasts. With an S at the end.
And if you want to find myself in the same kind of places, just with Counterfeit Cast, I'll post the details into the chat if you guys want to see more of us. But for now, thank you again to Hero Gaming Simon for helping out in the chat. What a hero. And our admins today, Uno and Danny W. Thank you to our players for some fantastic MC5. We'll see you guys tomorrow. But for now, good night and good games.